Hey, visibility hackers, welcome back to the live show. We've had a fantastic little break for the last little bit, and now it's time to get back to it. So, without further ado, if you are a content creator, if you have a brand for which you create content that you put out on social media for the purpose of building your brand awareness, getting new customers, building your authority and your expertise, whether you're trying to be a speaker, whether you sell products or services, whatever it is, if you create content for that purpose, you're definitely going to want to pay attention to today's episode because we are going to make 2023 the best year ever. So without further ado, let's jump into the episode. Oh man, well, I can't give you an update from the last time we talked because so much has happened. So, to check out what has been going on, definitely head over to the Visibility Hackers YouTube channel. Check out our new shorts. We've been loving putting together short form content for you. So, we're putting lots and lots of energy and effort into that in 2023. So, check them out over on our YouTube channel. You can also find them on our Instagram. We're putting them out as reels as well. So, whichever platform you are more comfortable on. And while you're at it, if you find us over on the Instagrams, which is at Visibility Hacker as well, why not throw us a message? Let's connect because that's what we're here for. We're here to make connections. We also have brought back the Friday Night Live show. We've made some little tweaks to it. I think it's going to be incredible. This is the third season of Friday Night Live, which is awesome. And so this week on Friday Night Live, I released, or this past week, I should say, I kind of spilled some secrets for you guys. And you guys, my live show audience, definitely will want to hear some of this stuff. So we now are really implementing the year of content process that we teach you guys. And we want you to follow along with us as we create the year of content plan, as we create the content strategy around that, as we create the content and we implement it and we analyze and we go through that process month after month after month. So we want to give you that behind the scenes look. So definitely check out all of our social platforms, follow along, join us in the Visibility Hackers Facebook group, and let's connect. So that's my update for this week. Let me know down in the comments whether you're watching live or on the replay. What are you focused on? What are you working on this week? And what are you celebrating that you were able to accomplish last week? Let us know down in the comments. I love to start out my week with a quote, something to give me inspiration to think through and to inspire my actions and my motivation throughout the week. So, this week's quote of the week, it's never too late to be what you might have been. What a crazy idea. When I was younger, I wanted to be an astronaut. It is still possible for me to be involved and to create the change that I wanted to see when I was inspired to be an astronaut back in the day. But if you've ever had that idea that you want to run a seven-figure business, that you want to have that freedom, that you want to be the boss, you want to come up with your own schedule, you want to pick your own prices, and you want to really be rewarded for the effort that you put into your business, well, this is the quote for you. Because if you've ever had that idea, and you've let it fizzle away and you've let it be piled over by excuses, 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 well, this is your moment. This is your realization. This is the sign you've been waiting for that's telling you, hey, it's still possible. So use this week as your opportunity to dig up, move those excuses out of the way, get back to that dream, and start making it a reality. As entrepreneurs, it is so important for us to document our journeys, both the highs and the lows, the challenges that we face and the successes when we're able to push through those challenges. By sharing our journey with our audience, we can create authentic and unique content that resonates with them. I'm always telling you to create those two different stories, right? The story of authority as well as the story of relatability. But it's not always easy, my friends, to be vulnerable and to share those struggles, is it? Let's be honest. It can be tempting to only show that polished, successful side of your business. But the truth and the reality is that entrepreneurship is a journey filled with ups and downs. It is a messy journey, my friends. But by sharing both those ups and those downs, we can create meaningful and relatable content that connects with our audience on a significantly deeper level. So, how do we go about actually documenting our journey as entrepreneurs? First, we need to identify the key themes and milestones within our journey. So, this might include things like the launch of a new product or service, a major milestone in your business, or a challenging situation that you've had to overcome. There's a lot of these milestones and themes, and I don't want you to think about milestones and themes in the sense of creating the topics in which you discuss within your movement. I want you instead to think about the moments and milestones of your journey to becoming, of your journey to the top of your mountain where you find all of those success. You can hear my incredible dog downstairs. She is cheering you on your journey of documenting and creating great content. But once you've identified these themes and these milestones that you're going to be discussing, that you're going to be sharing with your people, you can start to think about the best way to capture them in terms of content. But before we get to that, I want you to think about those difficult, vulnerable times in your business and in your journey to becoming. We like to think of those in terms of those difficult movements as those difficult moments as either being wounds or scars. So if it's a wound, it's something you're currently dealing with. It's something that's currently bleeding. It's something that is very teamed with emotions. This can be really difficult. This is where we feel very vulnerable at sharing things. And this is where, if we share these moments, they can get very messy. They don't necessarily align with the brand messaging that we're trying to share of our brand. This can be a little bit of a messy place to be. On the other hand, though, those wounds, when we deal with them, when we address them, when we give them the time and energy and effort they need in order to be healed, they then become scars. And our scars are easy to share. Our scars are stories of our battle wounds. They show the story of going through the challenge, being vulnerable, maybe even approaching failure. But once we see them as scars, we've actually moved through that challenge. We're on the other side of that challenge. We have a story to tell. We have a journey to share. When we share our wounds, it's messy, but when we share our scars, there's a message behind it. There's a moral behind it. There's a future in front of that story. So think about your moments of vulnerability, and let's move over to what happens when we've decided on the stories we want to tell, and now we have to think about how we capture those moments and how we actually document from the reality of documenting. Because there's many types of media that we can use to document those stories and to document our journeys. We can use text, we can use video or audio, we can edit things, we can do things live, we can share things raw, there are so many different formats that our content can follow. The right one will depend on your personal preferences, the message that you're sharing, the tone and the context you want to portray, as well as your audience themselves. But whatever media you end up choosing, it's important to be both consistent and authentic in creating those messages and sharing those stories. And of course, do not be afraid to share your challenges and your failures as well as your successes. That mental block can be very difficult to overcome, but once you do, it's like the doors have opened, your lungs are full of fresh air, and the world becomes so much more exciting. You're no longer hiding, you're now being true to yourself and your brand. By being transparent and honest about the struggles that we face as entrepreneurs, we can build both trust and connection with our audience on a deeper level. So the next time that you, my friends, are creating content, remember, document your journey as an entrepreneur. Share both the journey of what you are creating in your business, but also your journey to becoming. Your journey of transformation to become who you need to be to lead that 7-figure business. It's so exciting. Share your experiences, your challenges, the lessons that you've learned along the way. Share them with your audience. Embrace your authenticity. Be true to yourself, your brand message, and your audience in the content that you create. Because it's through documenting your journey that we create those meaningful and relatable pieces of content that resonates with our ideal customers. It helps us build a loyal following. It attracts the right people to our brand, and it helps create that automatic, what we like to call a connection machine that moves your audience from those who just casually consume your content to those who are ready to take action. So go start creating your own content. So the question is, how do we actually do this? How do we go about creating the content that we need to be authentic, to speak those two stories of authenticity, relatability, and authority and success? So there's a few things. First, you need to understand those milestones. You need to pick out what are the moments and what are the stories and what are the challenges you are meant to share with your audience. So you start out by mapping out what those are. And what's neat is when you're documenting your journey, it's easy to see these recurring themes, these projects you're working on, these challenges, these big complex challenges that you're facing. You're not going to be able to overcome most of them very quickly. They're going to take different approaches, a little bit of time, different aspects of your journey are going to touch on this moment. And so it's going to go from just being maybe one little piece of content to something that's going to expand, something that's going to be able to be turned into text and audio and video, and it's going to be shared across a long timeline so your audience can watch you problem solve, can watch you evolve, can watch you grow, can watch you transform. But it's understanding those unique milestones in your business, your brand, and your own journey. So think about a couple of different things. First, think about what your personal challenges are. Each and every one of us comes to our business with a unique set of challenges. So whether you have health challenges, whether you have a complex family that's busy and takes up a lot of your time, whether you have a 9-to-5 job and you are documenting the journey of building your side hustle, you have time constraints that you have to deal with on a personal level. Share those milestones and those moments and those challenges. So that would be your personal bubble. Then I want you to think about your business bubble. What are those things that you are building within your business? What are those challenges? What are those mountains you're climbing within the business itself? Pick out those milestones, pick out those stories, and start to share them. And then I want you to think about the greater context that you and your business sit within, the communities that you're part of. So when we're building our brands online, I talk about this more in other episodes, episodes, so definitely make sure that you are subscribed. But we want to make sure that we are situated within a community that helps support us. So as an entrepreneur with a business online, connecting with other entrepreneurs in the online space is essential to your mental health, for example. Having a connection with people who are going through the same stuff is vital to all of our success. Then we can start to find what those milestones and those stories are within that community. For example, I was part of this amazing coaching program for a year, and that community really helped me grow. And so I like to share the stories of the milestones that we as a community were sharing and celebrating. That became great content to share with my audience because it showed them that I was more than just about the transactions in my business. So those are 3 different places you can look to create those milestones, to find where those milestones are. And then you're going to start picking out the stories. You're going to start looking at creating content for them. So as I mentioned, we want to make sure that we are using a variety of different types of media. We want to talk in terms of writing blogs. We want to talk about using photos. We want to use video. We want to mix all of this up. And there's ways that you can create unique content for each of those formats. And there's also ways that we talk about here where we can repurpose content and reformat it. So you take a video that you create and then you strip the audio out and turn that into a blog post. It was only one core piece of content, but you're able to repurpose it into different formats. You can also, on the other hand, create a short or a Instagram reel video as the summary to a larger article that you wrote, therefore creating a unique and new piece of content that's still tied back to the core message and the core story that you're sharing about with your business. That is honestly, my friends, the secret to being everywhere, regardless of how much money you spend on your content creation process. Make sure that while you are sharing these stories with your brand, or your audience, you're remembering that you want to make sure you're talking about the pros as well as the cons. Remember, we're sharing those stories of authority, but at the same time, we're also sharing those stories of relatability. Your audience is going to be experiencing those same difficulties, or they're going to be anticipating experiencing those same difficulties. So seeing the way that you problem solve through them, that you work through them, or that you analyze and you weigh out the pros and cons of decisions within your business is going to create super valuable information for your audience. And then we want to make sure that we are sharing these stories of success and failure. We've thought through everything. Now it's time to actually create the content. So make sure that while you are creating this content, you're being authentic, you're being transparent, and you're including these stories, these true, authentic stories about the challenges and difficulties that you faced. At the same point, you can also share the challenges and difficulties and struggles and failures that your clients have been facing while working with you as well. Because this, again, shines that mirror for your audience to see themselves reflected in the content you're creating, therefore becoming more likely to say, hey, you are the solution for me. Let's buy. So we want to make sure that we are doing all of this. We are creating those stories of both authority, where our audience goes, whoa, I want to do that. I want to be them. I want to follow them to see how I can stand on the top of that mountain. And at the same time, we also want to be sure that we're sprinkling through those stories of relatability. So our audience also then says, hey, I see myself in those stories. I know that top of that mountain is really far away, but I see myself in the stories of people who have already achieved that mountain. Therefore, I'm motivated to follow what they're doing and to transform into the best version of myself that I see on the top of that mountain, reflected by the content you're creating. It's pretty incredible, I have to say. But it's not about going out there with an ego of, I've solved all the problems, I know all the answers. Documenting your journey is about literally going, hey, I tried this new thing today. Check it out. Let's come back in a couple weeks and see how it's gone. Let's try this new thing. follow me. Hey, I'm trying to get to here, and this is the obstacle I've reached right now. Watch me problem solve through it. This way, you're showing, no, you might not have all the answers, but you're figuring it out. And people, businesses, for example, they will hire people simply to figure out the answer for them. And if that is your area of expertise, if that is your domain, well, you're the perfect solution for them. You just have to show that to them. And I think that's pretty freaking incredible, my friend. So go out, start creating some great, inspiring content. Remember, show the top of your mountain just as much as you're showing the process to get there. Document your journey. Have you seen this? Oh, this week I posted this photo early in the morning here in the mini studio. And yeah, a lot of people were wondering what I was working on. And secretly, my friends, not so secretly, I'm writing another book. And so every morning I put in a little bit more time, a little bit of time, baby steps, my friends. And soon enough, you guys will have your access to your very own copies of this incredible book. It's all about taking action on the goals that we set for our business and our personal lives. It's all about finding the best way to stay motivated, why it matters to set those goals, and strategies that you can use to obtain fantastic results in your life and in your business. So definitely let me know if you are interested. If you have any questions actually about that topic, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to answer your questions. Definitely, I will respond with an answer, and I will put some answers in the book as well. I want to make sure it's a resource that's truly useful to you. So check that one out if you haven't already. And let's talk a little bit more about books. Yeah, let's talk about books. The Business Building Book Club is coming back. That's right. Thursday mornings at 7:30 Eastern, the core book club is going to be meeting. We're going to read through the book of the month, which is the YouTube formula by the one and only Derral Eves. He works with creators that you might have heard of, these little creators like Mr. Beast, for example. Yeah, this is the guy who has helped Mr. Beast really make the best out of his YouTube experience. And yeah, it's incredible. So join us. You can get more information down in the or actually, if you want more information, just let me know down in the comments, and I will hook you up with the link for that. And we'll also be sharing some summary episodes throughout the month over on our YouTube channel. So definitely check that one out. But if you're a content creator and you want to use YouTube, even if you are selling something or not, you want to use YouTube to reach wider audiences, to really get the most out of that platform, definitely join us for this month, because this is the book that teaches it. This is the book from the top mind in the industry. So come join us, Business Building Book Club, January edition. Your brand, your business, your journey as an entrepreneur is unique. There's no one else in the world who is uniquely positioned with your experiences, your knowledge, your thought process, your perspective, your value add. So it's your time to step up and to share that journey. So even if you're just getting started and you're just trying to figure this whole thing out, maybe you're still learning it, well, the best way to build that brand, to build that expertise, regardless of where you are in that journey, is to start today and to start documenting your journey. Because once you do, you open yourself up to new audiences, new perspectives, and you start to solidify your expertise. You start to figure out your message. You start to become so much more confident in the message that you're sharing. It's really, truly the way that you turn your business from a transactional experience into a movement, into a way of life, into the go to solution, the only solution for your ideal customers. But they won't know who you are until you start to share that message. So stand up and share your message with your audience. Why not tag us over on the Visibility Hackers Instagram page? Or if you're creating YouTube content, heck yeah, tag us at Visibility Hacker as well on YouTube, because we'd love to connect with you guys there. Thank you guys so much for joining this episode. I will see you again very, very soon. And until I do, remember, I love you. Be excellent to each other and just go live. Your audience is out there waiting for you.